Where's my Velcro glue at? I'll use that. Wow. I saw it here a couple minutes ago. Why here? We use a kind of glue, there's Velcro glue products like this glue here. Comes with a steel applicator pen, which is a pretty good touch. I like it. It gets plugged up the ends. When it does, I learned this from one of my subscribers. Take a lighter. See how it sparks out right there? Watch the spark. See it? Leave it clear. Let it cool off and stick it back in the hole it came out of, and there you go. Do it again. Oh, it's hot. Oh, there we go. Okay. What's this up? At one point, that goes in the boom a bit. I'll put that over here. Get out of the way. Pour some coffee here. Oh, thank you, Megan. Okay, let's check the board. We got one watching, one thumbs up. Whoever's watching, thank you very much for tuning in for Sunday Night Live Action. My humble apologies again. I wasn't online last night because I went out with my son-in-law and my daughter out for dinner last night. And we got home. I just went right to bed. Reserved last night's show for tonight. Okay, right here is all removable. Like when you do that, it's got to be masked on. It's all clear plastic because they got windows on there, and those windows got to be individually masked from outside and inside. Then I go ahead, I gotta mix the oils again and paint that color right there. Oils dry very fast. And using that acetone I got right there, the paint stripper, it's a drying agent. It works very good. It'll dry that oil a little good. When you mix the oils, use turpentine, or you can use what I'm using now, acetone or paint stripper, where you call it, or or mineral spirits. You got to have a drying agent and stuff here. Excuse me. We do with oils. It got cold last night out here. Today it was all warm all day today. I had a door open here a while ago and air out this room. See, I'm so used to being here every day, and while I'm painting and stuff like this, I can't smell the fumes more because I'm used to it. My daughter said, "Geez, Dad, you're gonna get yourself asphyxiated." I said, "What have you been using?" I said, "Well, what comes to painting? Using a clear lacquer I'm using." And I'll take it outside and spray my boots outside. Of course, when it's drying inside and everything, leaves odor in here. So I'm used to it. It's not gonna bother me. Otherwise, I would have been asphyxiated years ago. But it's good practice, guys. When you're spraying, always has some kind of ventilation going on. I always keep the door open in here. Another thing I like to make out of this kit right here is my color. Reboxed by a company called MIA. IMA. It's a Japanese company. This is our second rodeo, like I mentioned before, building a kit. I went back to check my old videos. I just got off there about a while ago. It has, I made 4 videos of this. On the last video, I was in the trailer. On that video, I mentioned my pros and cons on it. There's more pros than there's cons on this kit. There's only a couple of cons on this thing. The first con is the plastic. You got to watch out, like I say. It's very fragile. If you break a yard off or you break a mask off, there's always the glue where it glues together when it's busted off. It's always good to take a pen vise and drill a small hole in there and run brass rods in there for reinforcement. You glue it back together again. Use HCC. It'll be stronger than it was before. It's very strong plastic, but it's brittle. If you bop it really hard, you can snap it. So you don't want to go there. The worst con of all, they don't give you no blocks on this thing. You're on your own there. You're on your own. Since it's a Japanese imported kit, pre-boxed by IMA, I don't think they give you, they give you rigging instructions. No blocks. So you're pretty much on your own. I would use probably 1/8" blocks. You can buy a lot of Tallship all kinds of blocks. Or Blue Jacket ship crafters, you can go there. Double blocks, single blocks. Any manufacturer will work. Like I say, it don't come with this kit. It makes it, that's really bad about it. The same thing on the Susquehanna. They don't have no blocks either. So a good substitute between the Susquehanna and the Amerigo Vespucci, Vespucci. You could use Revell or Old Ironsides. Use this old Constitution blocks. 1/96 scale from Revell. Great. That's a sleep rifle. Okay, I'll go check out, see if I can find those parts. I can find those parts. Those are parts. Let's see where to find those parts. So, right here, look right at me. Okay. Oh, I know that goes back there. Here it is right here, 169. 690 here. Oh, Lordy. Hey, thought of that thing. I'm glad I put the mouse straight in that thing, I can tell you that. I would have broke right then and there. There it is. That's what I'm looking for over here. Okay. Okay. It's dry here. Come back. Check the channel. Let's see who's on there. Nobody's on the last time I looked. A couple guys watching. Go back and adjust in a couple seconds here. Okay, check the chat more now. We got Jamie, he's on there. We got Vec Watch, he's on too. Hello, fellas. Welcome to tonight's show. I'm sorry I wasn't on last night. My daughter took me out to dinner last night. And she, when I got home, you know, I felt like I went back to bed and went to sleep. Woke up about 5 o'clock in the morning, been up since. Lots of going on in this thing since camera stuff. We got the decks on there. Here's a good representation of the planking on here. As you can see, I'll add those stains on there. Looks real. That's one thing. That's one quality I love about these decks on these Heller kits. They're very highly detailed, and washers are highly most welcome. That's a very good idea, Diggy. I ain't too far behind you, buddy. I'm not too far behind you. I got to clean this space up around here, too. I got too much stuff in here. I got to start taking out my trailer out there like I do with my storage. So I can make room in here for these things. Well, I'm having a good time working on this here. Stack goes up there. It's got to be sanded down. That's got to be masked. Painted. This is a chart house right here. It's all clear. Every one of those windows got to be masked off inside and out. That way, when I paint it, you can see the windows and stuff there. Yeah. We'll go over headgear stuff here. All right. Anchor chains are installed already. Got my ropes, my jib stays, back stays. Okay, put that on there. Yeah, thanks, Daggy. I appreciate that, dear sir. Not yet. Back watch on the bowsprit of the cutting sword. I promise you, one day this week I'll have that thing on the model bench, ready to finish up the rigging on that thing on the stays and stuff. I look at it today a little bit, and it won't take. My mojo starting to pop up on it. So one day next week, tomorrow will be Monday, start a new week. I'll be back on the kite so I can get that thing done. Then I can go onward and work on between these two. Well, this is my spring build I elected on my Amerigo Vespucci. As I said earlier in the video, it's only got this thing's got more pros than cons, which is excellent. Who needs cons? The biggest con this model's got is it doesn't have any blocks to rig this thing up with. And number two, like I said, it's a lot of times of working on helicits. You got to watch out for the yards. Bowsprit, like a while ago, you said we bumped this thing a while ago. That bowsprit was on there. It was a busted live action, just like they did on the cutting side. So those parts are very delicate. You break a bowsprit, you break a mast, or break a yard. They're easy to put back together again, but they can't have reinforcement. That's why I say you always use a good thin light. See, this is the yard, like I said before. See, this is the yard broke. This is the broke. This is the broke. This is the broken right here. You take your thin lights and you drill a hole through there. It goes in. You put a rod in there. Do the same thing in the yard or the mast. Glue both ends and put it together. And it's strong. That's what I have to do with that cutting sock right there. The biggest achievement I got to achieve on is not to break those chains on the backstays, on the headgear. If I get that all free and loose, I can be able to do it like I just demonstrated a while ago. Okay, let's see what we got here. Over chopped. Okay, next up is the chocks and Amerigo. Your terrestrial vents and your sleep rifle. Those are color, those are your life raft lockers. So it's 34. Over there. Over here. Check the chat warriors, see what's going on. Got 10 watching, 5 thumbs up. On chat, we have Mr. Dean Schultz all the way from Texas. And we have Backwatch. He's on here with us. We have 2 guests tonight. Regulars. They're here pretty much the time. I'm very happy and relieved of that. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. Put the bed by so there's I won't knock it over. This is over here. I'll cut these 2 subjects out. These are 135. These are light tech locker supports. They are glued on the deck. That's 195. Make sure those are 195. I just took off all the way. Yep. 195. Two 5 rails. 5 rails. Blank benches. Okay. Off camera, those screws right there you just saw me pull out. I plan to paint them all white. If any more goes in there, that could be painted off metal. Check lockers. Secured good glue. That's secured very well. My check lockers put on. I like his glue. Well, it was pretty good. I like that little applicator got on there. Like I say, it clogs up, just pull out of the container itself and take a cigarette lighter and just light both ends, it'll pop out on you and it'll be okay. Like I said earlier in that video, I learned that from one of my subscribers. They taught me how to do that. So like I say, I may be an old goat, but I was still learning too. The day you stop learning is the day you stop living, fellas. Okay. Okay, I got those open chalks. I saw them a while ago. Right here. They're a pretty good quality of parts. Pretty good quantity of parts, but like I say, a person can build this in 1 month easy. If you work out 2 hours a day, you should have this thing done in a good month. It's really not that difficult. Just a lot of parts. You got to read the instructions and painting as you go along. That's one side with one side. Yeah, right here. That's a good job. Those small ones go out. Now I remember. I remember these things. Flash is pretty minimal in this kit too. Because this kid opens up a lot of doors in my mind. Let's see. Right there. Right here. You got two identical screws, right? Two identical screws. There's right here. Okay. Got two of those suit rifles too. Yeah, go right there. That's where I go. Little suit comes in. One of these, I'll say. Saw here a while ago. Right here. Okay, remember, two different screws. I'll finish this assembly here, take a break. It's dry. Okay. So let's see what I'm going to do on there. It's over here. I'll keep popping this goddamn thing. Like I say, the bells with there are massive. I mean, busted. Well, yeah. Should be two on here. Focus your eyeballs, Frankie. Focus your eyeballs. You shall see them. Up there, over here. Yeah, right there. Just like I thought. That's right there. Yeah. Well, the two cylinders dry. Take a break. Back install same. Okay. Yeah, there. Sloop guns. Okay, go back to the video. For watching, 10 thumbs up. We still have Dingy. We still have Backwatch if they're still on here. Well, Dingy's cleaning up his work. Yeah. so he can prepare for his next build. That's what's all about. Take a cigar break. Yeah, I'm gonna call the bank while see how much money got in there and transfer over to my credit card and get a few more things tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll start a video of the week. Yeah, we all got that problem, Danny. It's called out of sight, out of mind. Then what comes back to mind, you always try to go back in time to figure out where you put it at. And usually I run into that stuff by accident when I'll come over there to a drawer somewhere, open something up. My biggest problem is I take parts out and put them in different kits or lay them on different models and stuff, knowing the fact that someday I'll go back and dust it off and I'll see that part. Like, for example, there's a smoke generator that came off my Fletcher Destroyer. I found that. It was laying on top of the deck of the Queen Mary. So I got to clean it up and glue that back on there. Stuff like that. Our biggest problem is like wrestlers is we get disorganized a lot. That's why years ago when I used to work at restaurants, I used to bring home little small containers like cheese containers like that. And I take a Sharpie and go ahead and mark spare parts block like canopies, pilots, propellers, landing gear, tires, look up the ships, blocks, cleats, halyards, turnbuckles, trolley nobles, winches, you name it. Wow. Oh, you'll find it, Danny. I'm quite sure you will, buddy. Try it out in December. Okay, got them on there. Oh, I know you will, buddy. No doubt about it all, Diggy. You'll find them. Okay, means Gypsy has them. Captains, relentless. Oh, check these news here, see if they're here. No. Oh, that's true. Forty-four. Oh, wow. Which one right here? 277s. Well, take the bill. 77 ain't there. Not whispers me. Exactly, right over here and there. Yeah, I have to make this video. I'll go ahead and make a regular video on this, so it should catch you for that, guys. Wonderful. I'll set it down over there. Because it was right there for the base. I'll put on my cabeza. That color is buff color. Starting to bloom like a flower. Like those wild in the Victoria house. Yeah. Okay. Next, somebody be able to railings there. They go down to the deck. Okay. Take this next parts out. Right there, that's good. Right there, that's real. That's out. That's over here in these two screws. Make out these parts right now. See? $58. These are handrails. You know where they go. Here. Yeah, right here. Over here. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. I have other cases of that thing. It was a snake that bit you and bit me twice. I spent 3 hours looking for a piece one time, and I can't figure the light thing where I put it in. And see, like me, it's pretty near, and it's right in front of my face, but where? I was working on what model was that? Yeah, in Susquehanna. That Civil War, friggin' war. I was looking for a cannon cartridge for it. And the ship's all black anyway. Say this is the cartridge right here. Laid right up there on the deck, right next to the other cannon. It was so neatly placed next to the cannon cartridge, I thought it was assembled already. I kept looking, well, no wonder I can't find it. It's right here all that time. God, man, you gotta start remembering and stuff. Makes you feel like you have Alzheimer's disease, but you don't. You just can't keep keep track of your separate pieces, you know? We got a lot of projects going at once, you know, we all have our method of badness when it comes to building and putting stuff away, you know. That's why it's always a good habit of having something, a chain or something like this, a chain. And put tape across there. Amerigo, Amerigo Vespucci. And you could just put loose parts in there. And you'll find them there. That's about the best habit I can tell you to do is always label a small container and say parts for this, parts for that. It don't matter what's in there, just put it in there, you'll get the part you need. I've been on an hour and a half already. That's good. There you go. see she drew the ladder, those handrails. That really ceased up. I hate those tank cars. Here. We'll do the handrails the other side right there. My son all took off back to Florida. Watched his mom and dad's house while his sister went on vacation or something like that. And he got a little nephew right there. I believe that's what he is. Either a nephew or a cousin. One of the two. He's part of the young children nowadays who think they're entitled to everything. There was one kid one time I straightened him out real quick. I want to tell you something, young man. You know what entitlement means? Entitlement means what you earn, what you expect to come to you. Entitlement comes with earning. I spent 30 years of my life fighting for freedom. 25 years of my life as a machinist. And I've worked all my life. I'm entitled to my Social Security. I'm entitled to my naval pension. And I'm entitled to my work pension. Most of the problem comes to their parents. There you go. Got that job at Silver Sang over here, payment. Silver Sang. Well, here's what's that. Yeah, that's a good start where to go at, dang it, right? Spare parts containers, you'll find them in there. I guarantee you will. Let's see what goes. Here. Okay. Put these over here. two is over here. You'll find it. I found it already. Oh, 115. Over here. Let's go to the next one. Over here. 150. Wonderful. Okay. Start the side one here. Flash and clean it up. See? There, there. Goes there. screw up in the bottom section of the boat ramp. Boat cables. Boat cables can't paint in clear plastic because they got windows in them. That's the method of madness when Heller uses clear plastic on their superstructures that has windows and stuff. That way you can mask that stuff off and paint it, mask off the windows and stuff. It'll be ready for you to install. I watched about 3 or 4 videos of this thing last night. Mostly during Harbor Days and stuff like that, where the videos come out. But I thought some pretty good. I discerned a lot of details. A lot of details in there. Yeah. Got a boat master. I got to paint a tan color. So we got ladder weights. Got to paint it. Installed. Five rails. Over here, I can see from here, one location. And you got to make more here too. Oh, I know it's fluffy. And it's over here, probably still off the screw yet. This thing is baggy. The guy had this for me. He hadn't built too much on the skin. Like as far as he got was put the stand together. That was about it. He gave up. He threw in the towel. He said, "I'm not going to build this thing. I'll stick with it." He had a guy could have passed away, or his wife they got on him. Say, Harold, we're going to do this mom here. This thing looked there for ages. So she ever going to finish it or fix it? I think I'll get it. Much more to do that next. Do this in and take a break. Do this in and take a break. We glue these pipe rails in and we do it right here. Always use cryolite glue. I'll tell you why. Because it's strong. It's got tension against these pipe rails once you dig it up. You use regular glue, you can break the joint or it can come off. This stuff here is on forever. Fuck. Let's do that French, guys. I cannot lose. Like a dog with a long tail, not anymore. Just do it on there. That goes here. That goes up here, it's out of the way. I saw those pipe rails like I get strong. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. I can make three 5 belt assemblies. Well, on me, one I can find. One more. Well, similar materials. Okay. That's done. Put 2 more back here to put back your aft. Okay, one there. Come back to those later. Have to take a break. The best thing about this kit is like all pellet kits are in general. The sealing range is the rigging tool it gives you. That's the frame for your rigging frame for your shrouds. So yeah, that's a good idea. Okay. Right time. It's not glue up into the applicator. Ooh, I put a dent in this thing now. As you can see, it's starting to grow. Oh, you ain't watching, 8 thumbs up. Yep. This is my Pache double action brush. I bought this 1977. I've had it all those years. But like I say, Danny, I agree with you 100%, good friend. I've airbrushed 1,000,001 models out of this thing. It has never let me down. And it cost $49.95 in 1977. They call it the traveler's kit. It comes with a jar, comes with a touch-up bowl here. It's all suction, a touch-up bowl. You get your double action. Comes apart from this end. You can clean up the needle, clean your needle out, clean out your orifice and stuff. Yeah, the thing is to serve you very well. I love Pache. A lot of guys don't pronounce it the correct word. The correct word for this is Pache. A lot of guys call it a posh. Well, we all know what it is anyway, so it's a posh or a Pache airbrush. But people who are very literate, intelligent, who admire a person using proper literature and proper pronunciations of the product that he's using, they say, well, this guy's educated. So this is a Pache Model H double action. A good airbrush, a good old friend. I got a bunch of airbrushes in here. I got about maybe 20 or 30 airbrushes I got a lot of place. Now, like you're saying, never judge a book by its cover or a model by the picture on the box. This is a Harbor Freight airbrush, costs $20. Single action. It works very, very well. Very easy to clean. I'll screw this back here off like so. Just turnbuckle, turn this way. You can pull the needle out like that and clean it. I got this one airbrush cleaner from 20 Coil. This stuff here is the best. It works very well. I'll spray it over the trash can over here. Make sure you don't break that needle right there. That needle is very delicate. It bends very easy if you're not careful. Let's squeeze it like that. This airbrush is very easy to clean. I'm going to tell you something. Harbor Freight's got some good stuff, boys. I use that quite frequently too. It's an AHOY airbrush. This is a suction job, double action. All airbrush is good and clean in there. I got two of these here. This is the Cadillac of airbrushes in the AHOY range. I'll think about a little over $200 this one here. It's got this gravity fed, got the gravity bowl on top of there. And You say Ann, Frank? Yes, I said Ann. I got another one here. It's all hooked up, ready to go. No, I want the clips. All our brushes got different natures to them. I got 3 more Pachets down there, and I got a couple of Badger brushes. I got one costing $500. It's a Badger. It's behind the pile of Rebel back there. I got box of kits laying around and stuff. Airbrush gets pretty expensive. Like I say, the cheapest airbrush you got is at Harbor Freight. It's a good airbrush. It really is. I still use the compressor they got down there. That compressor right there, I painted 1,000,001 models out of that. It cost $99.99. And I got the special edition system airbrush package. I got one that comes with the with the airbrush. I've got one, and it comes with the compressor as a kit. I like that. Cost $99.99. It still runs today. See, right? So Harbor Freight sells some pretty good cheap tools. They don't sell quality snap-on tools, stuff like you get out of Craftsman tools, places like that. It's like they'll say, get what you pay for, but a higher quality. So you get a quality of a piece of equipment at a cheap price. Yep. But you got to realize back in 1977, $50 was a lot of money, especially when rent was $150 a month back then. You buy 7 hamburgers for $1. The double action was $49.95. Single action, which I got about 2 or 3 over there behind me, next by Titanics. They're $39.95. Comes with an airbrush hose, a wrench, touch-up cup, and the airbrush itself in a jar. That's not bad. You got a lot of model pros back in the 60s and 70s use Pache airbrushes. And I love them. I love those Paches. They're easy to clean. They're not too bad. I clean the whole entire thing. After I get done having a painting session, I'm not going to use the airbrush anymore. I'll take it apart and clean everything up. Like I did a while ago, took a needle out of that Harbor Freight job and cleaned it up real good. And it works real well. I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah. No, pretty strong. So, but this ain't glued down yet because it's clear plastic. It's got to be all mask. All the ones got the individual mask. I got that big boat that comes up. The funnel's been installed. It's going to be painted. That sanded down well, so the seams have disappeared. My favorite kit by Heller, the silver range, is a Polar Wind. It's 1/100 scale. I remember that. It was big. It was a research ship. Almost looked like that of the Endurance. Almost that, but it was all painted white. And it came with the frame and stuff, you know. Rigging frame, which actually sold the model. What's that? You got to be painted and assembled. Okay. Put a couple of pieces on it. They ain't cold as right. Need more tomorrow on it. It's like I said, we work on this thing now pretty much a week now. Takes about 3 or 4 days for the hull because it's two-tone, three-tone color. You got white, tan buff color, plus you have black. This was done painted with three airbrushes, all loaded, ready to go. Two of those Iwatas had one had black paint in it, the other one had white in it, the other one had the tan color. That way it keeps you from doggone, it prevents you from touching up, do a lot of masking and stuff. A lot of stuff involved. Hopefully by tomorrow I should get my paints over and stuff. That's about the smartest thing to do is go ahead and get your credit card all ready to go and use it. Like I say, me going to the hobby shop nowadays is pretty mild. I haven't been to the hobby shop in a year. All those good deals on that stuff on. Okay. Saying about steroids. They remind you of the grand staircase in the Titanic being shaped. Instead of spiral, they start bigger spot, they go back up. As you see right here. Go this way. Two people will start. The other guy behind will follow when it goes up. Touch ACC on there. That's for the seal. You get your standing rigging, running rigging. So, nice and tight. Good. There. Let's get Peter first. Okay. Yep, I follow you. Okay. Okay, got 7 watching, 8 thumbs up. We got Mr. Diggy Schultz, he's with us still. We got Back Watch, he's still with us. Probably a couple other fellows chimed in I haven't seen yet. Yeah, back in 1960s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, there was 2 companies that made airbrushes, Pache and also Badger. The 1980s came in, you had other companies making airbrushes. Iwata's out of Japan. Well, I love my Pache. I will never get rid of that. That serves me very well. It's very dependable. I can depend on it. That and that damn Harbor Freight airbrush. The only 2 airbrushes I can really depend on. Don't fuss with me. The Iwata, their orifice fits inside the nozzle assembly. It's very, very fine. And we mix the paints. That paint's got to be that of the thickness of thin coffee cream. Because it's very thin stuff. It's got to pass that orifice. When you got any paint uh, pieces, flakes of paint, like for example, how would you explain that? Paint pigment that has been mixed with the paint. You look at a nozzle, it's choked up the airbrush, and you clean the whole thing out. Some airbrushes don't like different paints. To me, a paints were very difficult at first to paint because this is a formula that they use all that stuff. It dries too fast on there, especially acrylics. A lot of people like enamels because enamels is wet. It goes all wet and stays wet for a long time until enamels dry. And so airbrushes are very good for water soluble paints, also mineral spirit paints, even lacquer paints. All right. Okay. Take another 10, 15 more minutes to knock off for the night. We'll see more work for tomorrow. Oh, hello, model student. How you doing, buddy? There you go. Welcome to Southern Night Live with the gang. We got the Amerigo Vespucci by the good folks at Pole Keller out of France. This is my rodeo number 2 that I've done on the Sang. And so far, we're losing quite along. During this video, we got fittings on the deck that I put on. And I've got my bowls of green right there. Stairs are green. So I'll give it a good wash of green and go ahead and set back there. That creates everything back there. Not much deck furniture in this thing. The radio will bring it to life for sure. Probably by Tuesday, we'll be able to start on the mast. It builds pretty fast, this thing does. If you really take your time on it and do a good job on it, you can build it in a month. 30 days is good enough. The model of this category. The way it's designed. But if you really want to take your time, do it the Frankie Day way. It would take you about 2 or 3 years to build this thing. As I'm trying to dry, building out stuff on board to finish up, getting back on it again, so on and so on until it gets to the stage that it needs to be done. It can be done in about a few hours, so I might as well finish it up and make a final bill out of it. That's what this is going to be. I made 2 videos of this. I made a video of living here in this house now. I made another video of this because I went and checked all my videos on. So I got about 4 videos of this on my old channel. So please go there and check out my old stuff, guys. You know, I try my Sunday find this the best I can to get a hold of good folks at YouTube. If they can combine everything in this here room here with my old channel, that way I can keep what I got. Because I got a lot of years vested in that channel. I got 12 years in YouTube vested in that channel. Right here, I got 11 to 12 months here in this one. That's cost me a lot of subscribers. A lot of people think I'm dead now. Guess the way the feed goes out around the YouTube area. Well, it didn't, I think, tonight. Yeah, it looked pretty good, this thing is. Yeah, I got my best stuff in the world on that channel. 12 years of work on that channel. When I first moved in here, I had a hell of a time trying to publish my YouTube videos. So the only platform to use at the time was Facebook. And then eventually the good folks from YouTube said, oh, this is Frankie Day here. Hell, loud back on again. Heck, they probably wonder why I got 2 channels. If they contact me tell me why I got 2 channels, I'd tell them because they won't allow me. I forgot my password. Jesus. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's the main thing. It's a back. Living in a new state, new internet provider, brand new computer. That new computer which I'm using here don't remember nothing. Yeah, there is a way. I sure like to find that way, buddy. I sure do. Well, the other one still brought me a bunch of stuff to eat around here, a bunch of food stuff. I got a bunch of them in the bed over here behind me. Stews and chili, stuff like that. I got a microwave over there. So I'm cooking the most I got. I've been working on a small stove for me to hook up in here. Got a refrigerator. I had a good time last night. It took me out to dinner. I was really surprised about that. Place called the Texas Roadhouse. That's where I went. Oh man, I got a hold of the manager last night of the Texas Roadhouse, and I think he noticed me from my Facebook. On Facebook, he noticed me from YouTube. I was very surprised about that. He recognized me. He came up to me and brought me the bill. He was one of the servers there. Brought me the bill. I was in favor with my Visa card, but my daughter said, nope, it's not me yet, Dad. It's not me, Robert, Dad. Okay, thank you. And the server comes over. Sir, excuse me a minute. Do you have a YouTube channel? Yes, I do. Does it have to do with models again? Yes, it does. Go Frankie Day Models. That's it. I knew you looked familiar when you first walked in here. He likes my ships and stuff I build like that. So I asked him, look, you got any customers come here and display stuff and bring stuff in here? Well, not really though, but I sure like to see some of the ship models in here at the bar. So to do, I get a hold of the owner and the company, see if they can do it. They might be able to do that. I sure like it. So I got something going there, guys. I got something shaking right there. Yeah. Do the steps of wash and do the steps in that. I think the blank benches are like a mahogany color. So I got special oils for that. And that's pretty much like tan. I love tall ships, they're very pretty. Out San Francisco around May, June, they got harbor days out there. And all countries across the world got tall ships like the Amerigo Vespucci. And they go there for tours and show people they're proud of the ships. These ships had no rust on at all. Before I apply any rust on this thing, I want to make quite certain that if there's any, because I know that these things were spit and polish. Because you had young cadets learning modern spike education, learning seamanship, learning how to take pride of your seamanship skills and everything else, and keeping the maintenance on the ship up, keep it clean, keep all your sheaths inside your pulley blocks nice and oiled, and all the paintwork is nice and spit and polished and clean. Sense of pride. So I did some research on the Vespucci, and there wasn't a hint of rust on it. So don't put no rust on these things, guys. If I start to get creative laying rust on this thing, I'm quite sure that somebody YouTube will catch us. I was on that ship last year. There ain't no rust on it at all. That's the point against you right there. So don't put no rust on these things. The only thing you weather on this thing is like on the decks or little nooks and crannies here and there. But everything else is just do a neat job. Make sure it's good clean. Oh, they're very pretty, tall ship. Beautiful lofty sails and yards. Ours is the Coast Guard cutter Eagle. It's still in business still. Of course, in Germany, they got the Borg. They got that. And Denmark. It's something Maru in Japan. I got that kit too by Heller. That's a beautiful ship. Kind of has 4 or 5 masts on it. And a screw for propulsion and sails. Oh boy. I'm not so big over. I'll be ruined, man. That thing toppling over on me. Oh, okay. Now to go outside and take a leak. Oh yeah, I was thinking about now. Billings makes a jig to hold their models in. That's a good question. A good point, Dingy. I think I'm gonna check those jigs out, see if I can. Usually I make my own jigs sometimes, but it's good to have a jig that can serve a lot of models. Plastic and wood is alike. Matter of fact, after tonight, when I get the video all done, I am going to research it out and get me a jig tomorrow sent away for it. That's a good idea, Danny. Now, if that clay socket was in the jig, that thing never would have went over on me. See, the thing is, it's on this little wood thing here. It don't have nothing to hold it. If I had something that could hold it, well, I push it. You know, you guys got it all. You see the whole bag. I went down on me. Yeah, jig is very, very important. Great importance to have. Great importance. A couple days ago, my daughter took me down and got my hair cut for me. I'm not used to having short hair like this, so I've had long all my life almost, except when I was in the Navy. In the Navy, I always wore a flat top haircut, like a Marine Corps flat top. Easy to take care of. Well, I got out of the Navy, I just let it all hang out. I don't care anymore. No admirals, captain inspection around my house. That barber lady right there, she's very, it's called Great Clips. They know what female barbers do. They do a goddamn good job. I mean, she used a pair of scissors, no electric clippers. Oh, yes, she did. She did that. She used that to trim my sideburns, my chops. And she remembered me from before. So, oh, I remember you. You were from Ohio. I said, yeah. And she says, do you miss it back in Ohio? I said, man, that place ain't a state. It's a disease. I said, this is a state. Not to put the people down there in general, just the way they run things out there. Never liked it, honey child. Never liked it. It kicked me out of two houses that I paid for. It took my wife. It took my brother. It took my independence away from me. How's Ohio treating me? My dad told me a long time ago, when I was a kid growing up in this world, like I told her. I'll tell you guys the same thing. My dad told me. I want to tell you something, Frank. In this world we live in, across both ponds, across the North Atlantic, across the South Pacific, the Mediterranean, the Gulf, and also the Aegean Seas, Greece, all through there, all over the English Channel. No matter where you live, even America, people live there. Now, you live in an area that's not going to be prosperous for you. You're not going to get ahead, and you got a mousetrap that's set for you already. As you grow old, you have difficulty finding work, finding a job. By the time you're 40 years old, you have the kids in school, getting out, having a family, you should retire and everything else. But it's not so. It wasn't for me. It's not going to be for you. But if you live in an area that's going to put you out in the streets, it's time to get the hell out of there. Do some research and move somewhere else. A lot of people all over the world, a lot of the sanctuary states, like Michigan, Nevada, California, Oregon, Washington State. Uh, yeah, all these liberal people, they're not so liberal. A little bit they are, but not so liberal. Depending on what kind of government they got going on there, like sanctuary states, they ruined everything, And a lot of them moved to Tennessee, the volunteer state. I'll say about 80% of the people who live in Tennessee right now, come from all these all these states that have conjunctions against them, sanctuaries. They're only going to take so many. That's what I've been hearing. My daughter told me that. They take so many, don't overflood the states with people over the world. But I moved here because of victim of circumstance. And I got my kid out there, my daughter, one of them. Restaurant in California. They had nothing to do with it because they got their own lives to worry about. I've been doing a lot of soul searching lately, fellas. I'm finding out life is short. Older you get, the less valuable you'll be. And your time is coming close. And all these things haunt me all the time. But I'm able-bodied. My mental health is perfect. And I can still build these things and play my music and enjoy life. And right now, I'm very, very relaxed and happy now. I'm starting to get happy, knowing the fact I'll never lose this building I live in. And I know that my deathbed behind me, where I sleep in every night, if I save my parents, if I go to sleep at night, that'll be the end of Frankie Day right there in that bed back here. Because they got everybody gets kind of morbid talking about deathbeds and stuff. I'm 80 years old, boys. I'm 80 years old, you got to accept the fact we're all born to die. You are what you feel. You are what you age. So you got to make your own world up. Make it good for you. Like I make it my world. I came in this room with a model in here. Look around now, got here, there, everywhere. Just like the song the Beatles put out. Here, there, everywhere. I got my models hanging up in the ceiling as I can see. Queen Mary right next to me. And you great fellas get to watch me almost every day. So that's my Frankie Day world right there. And it protects me and also gives me something to do. I'm always thanking all the time. Yes, it did. A lot of people don't understand building models is not only for the collector and buying. There's a lot of education between states. We're all about to are building miniatures of the real thing. And us modelers hate to have our models be called toys. My ex-wife Brenda, she was very good at doing that until this guy came over and gave me $2,000 for a blue jacket leadership that I built out of wood. She couldn't believe it. My father-in-law came over and said, Frank, I had no idea these things were worth money, but I guess they are. I said, look, I got 5 girls. What am I going to have time to do what you're doing? You know? Well, I said to my father-in-law, you got to make time. I was raised building these things, Pop. So I told my father-in-law, I was raised. When I was baptized, I fell off the pier right next to a destroyer. I hit that water. I was about 3 years old. That's when I learned how to swim. I just fell off. I didn't panic or nothing. Somebody in my mind told me to do this. Dog paddling. I kept my head above water. When you go to piers, you'll see a big log laying along the pier side where the ship's dock gets. They call that a camel. A camel acts like a shock absorber. It keeps the ship from doing any damage to the pier or to the ship itself. Oh, I'll tell you guys another true story after this. I get to finish this one. My dad was on a Sunday. He always took me down to the naval yard, Norfolk Naval Yard, to look at the ships. I was very impressed how big they were. And my dad was talking to somebody. He was in the Navy. I think he was talking to an officer. Then he lunged. I remember him lunging towards me because I tripped over backwards. I missed that camel by that much. If I hit that camel, it would have killed me. I hit that water, tumbled once, came up to the surface, big pedal. I saw a big ship. I was next to a submarine tender. That's what it was. It was the USS Ajax. And it was a story tender, not a submarine tender. It was a story tender, and it had a wooden deck and everything like that. And they were through that child life ring, through a life ring. So I hopped on top of the camel. I looked around and walked the camel. There's a little ladder goes up there, one up here. I said, "But don't ever do that again. You almost see, it took about 10 years out of my life that I can't spare." I said, "What happened? What'd you do?" So I said, "What I was doing, Dad? Are you sure you're okay?" "Yeah, I'm very sure." I said, "That water was pretty cold, Dad." He said, "Yeah." He was very worried about me. But that's how I learned how to swim, guys. That's how I become a shellback, a polywog to a shellback real quick. Now, the other story. My favorite subject at school was science. Science, mathematics, and mechanical drawing. Because I know all this stuff. There's a science between model ships building, model airplanes building, armor, anything. There's a science behind everything. And I like science because science can help you. Science has always helped me out a lot. And I can remember that that gravity is controlled by buoyancy in the water like a ship. What the hell was that? Oh, goddamn. What's that? A mosquito? Well, I'll get rid of his ass in a minute. They don't like this stuff. He's gone. Hit him once, that stuff's like bug spray. He's gone. Anyway, we're at the pier one time. And my chief bosun's mate, Chief Hill. I said, "Chief, how heavy is this tanker right here? About 80,000 tons? No, that's not. I'll say about 65,000 tons. It carries 150 barrels of oil. It's a T3 oiler." He goes, "Why?" You know something? I had a boat out in California. I still got it. It's in the marina. My dad takes care of it. And it's 60 feet long. And I could push it very easily off the pier. Yeah, Frank, you talking about something that weighs maybe a couple of tons, but this thing here weighs 65,000 tons or perhaps even more. You tell me you can push a ship? I can push it, Chief. I want to tell you something. I know a lot about buoyancy. There's no gravity in buoyancy. There isn't any. The only time there's gravity is when air is displaced with water. Just like a Titanic when it broke. Anybody with common science could tell that iceberg damage had nothing to do with it. That's called inertia forces. You have two different forces, opposing forces. You got one force that's pulling this way, and another force that's pulling this way. And that thing's 900 feet long. You got about 600-700 feet of it down by the head going in the water. You got another 300 or 400 feet of it sticking out of the water like a tombstone. As it got heavier and heavier by the bow, the forces become a lot more violent. But pretty soon, it snapped. When it snapped, it pulled the stern up and it dangled there for a while. A lot of the survivors on the Titanic, they were finally coming to the realization, wait a second now. This thing's making its own lifeboat. Ship broke in half, and the back half was floating. Well, we'll stay here a couple minutes, see if it stays closed. We'll go there and get on that. Wait till help gets here. That's the all thought that pretty soon air was being displaced with water. And the stern started coming up and bub, 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 she went. Well, like I said, there's no gravity in the buoyancy. So she took out a measuring tape. It stood on the pier, took that tape out. It was 111 inches, all the way from the pier touching the ship. And he held it right there. And he grabbed me by the back of my pants right here. Keep me from falling in. Because I had my hand right against the hull while I pushed on it. I kept the pushing on it, kept the pushing on it, kept the pushing on it. All of a sudden, I felt like I didn't have enough room to push anymore. I pushed that ship 3 inches from the pier. At that time, I weighed 145 pounds. Sheep was amazed. Oh my God, unbelievable. Well, I can't believe this, but I believe it because I've seen it. So one nickname aboard the USS Builf was Superman. For the past 3 days, and he bragged on me for the past almost 3 days. He bragged on me. There's Superman. That guy can move a ship right there. Oh, bullshit. He can't move no ship. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. So Chief took me in the chief's boardroom. He goes, have a seat, Frank. Want a beer? Sure. You ain't staying watch, are you? No, I'm off the watch bell. You know that. Get a cold beer, sit down. So, Frank, how you learn to do all that stuff? I just learned when I was in school. Pushing a ship? I said, no. Just learning the facts of gravity and everything. See, Chief, anything that floats is very light and has no gravity. Just think, if wind can push something, you got to have some force too that can push. I was the force. I moved the ship. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Okay, we're coming out of here. I'll be on here now for about 3 hours and 4 minutes. The clock is still ticking. It's Sunday night. Tomorrow's Monday. We'll have another continuation video of the Amerigo Vespucci by the good folks of Heller and the good folks of AHOY. So if you got one of these in your stash, don't be bashful, build it. If you built one before, you know it's a good kit. If you're thinking about buying one, buy one. I was very, 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 very lucky. I paid $20 for this. With shipping and handling, it was $34 it cost me. It ain't too bad. And this kit retails at least $100 on it. I know that. And Bruce Kerr of Bruce Kerr Models, a Mystic Model from the garage, he bought one of these. He said he got a good deal on his. He paid $65 for this. And you give us $100, you know, shipping and handling, you're very lucky. You're dead meat, Mr. Mosquito. You're in my sights and you're gone. Down you go. Yeah, you're dead now. Dead meat. Yeah, I mean, they're a good kit. They're typical Heller, you know. I wasn't really head over heels years ago for Heller kits. Like I say, the only Heller kit I ever built at the time was the 100 scale of the exploration ship Polar Wind. It came with a rigging tool with a jig that rigs all the rat lines on it. And I remember the beautiful deck on that thing. The thing has a beautiful deck too, as you can see during the construction. Planking, you see the planking using the washes. These things got to be done with washes. Now, you get very subtle planking like that on the Queen Elizabeth. That's when you use pastels, like I did on mine. Okay. I'd like to thank all my new Noel subscribers for tuning in tonight. I'd like to thank Mr. Dingy out of Texas. We got Model Student 20. We got back watch on there. And those are my guests of honor tonight for tonight's Sunday Night Live action. And I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in, and may God bless. I love you guys. Take care of yourself. And the ones that are still watching, the 6 are watching, the 9 thumbs up. Thank you very much, dear fellas, for tuning in. So be sure to tune in tomorrow. We're going to have another live action episode on this. Tomorrow we'll work on the boat Davids and finish up the deck furniture. Then we'll start messing down the windows on the chart houses, get the things all right for painting. And by Wednesday, I get the mast all assembled, and the mast all assembled, get primed and painted, then put them in place. And the last thing I'll do in this thing is boats. Those boats are pretty well each of different color schedules. They got blue on there, gold, and black, and white. So I gotta take my time on that. Oh, you're back again, huh? You want more? I'll give you more. Where you at? I would not suggest use this at home, guys. The mosquito smart like a fly. These insects they got a lot of intelligence. They see me sitting here, and they see this, and knowing they're going to get blasted with it, they're gone. Now, or I'm out there doing something, I come right back and say, well, you ain't going to spray us no more. That's what they think. I would suggest use this at home, guys. Do this in the house like that. Okay, make mama happy, take care of the little ones, stay focused and drive, you aware of your surroundings, get yourself a kit. We're not in the woods with winter yet, with the dog days of winter starting to cheer up to springtime. I've been checking the vegetation out here lately. I went out and picked up the trash out like today, and I noticed all the plants are budding out, so I've been whenever the spring is here, which is good enough for me. This is the most best winter I've ever had in a long time. It got cold a couple of days. I'd say it got really uncomfortably cold for about 2 or 3 days here in this here room. Other than that, warm, nice and warm, like it's here right now. Okay, I'll get the door closed. Good. I thought a mosquito got in here. It wasn't following me in. No mice in here. I'm glad I got no mice. I asked my daughter-in-law, not my daughter, Jesus Christ. I asked my daughter and my son-in-law about rodents around here. Got mice. There's no dad, they ain't mice around here. We hardly get any. Any rodents we get is like moles, he said. But they're out there in the grass. Other than that, there's the rabbits. So I was relieved about that. That trailer I had was full of mice. I hate mice. They can ruin your stuff real bad. Okay, I'm going to make another video of this for the rest of everybody else to see, which I haven't seen here tonight. And tomorrow we'll have a live action video again on more of the construction of the hull. And on Wednesday, we'll turn to on the yards, mast, bowsprit, and we'll mast down the chart room, get that all painted tomorrow. So let this thing dry. I got enough on there. I did enough. You can see that enough. We'll make a fast walk around before we call the video. Oh, Lord. I've got the boat, I've got the anchored cranes on there. I've got the salute rifles right there. Chocks are on. Night heads are on. Fifer rails are on. This is all clear plastic. Like I said earlier in the video, all these ones are going to be masked off individually. I'm going to paint off. Boat cradle's been installed. I got more pipe rails glued aft here. completely aft, got the fire fills done there aft, and I got another house was back here for the engineering house. So we got all these little boat dad physical across here. So I'll be busy for a while. Okay, we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll make a video after this when it's uploading. And so it'll be video number 6 tomorrow. The Tall Ship Amerigo Vespucci. Frankie Day signing off, Frankie Day Models. God bless everybody. Again, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. I bring honor to your wonderful candor, comments, and views. And just being here with me. God bless everybody. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you. I love you all, and all take care of yourselves.